Let me ask you a question that might feel a little uncomfortable. Look down at your own two hands. How many times have you shaken hands with yourself on a promise, only to let yourself down? I'm going to start that diet on Monday. But Monday becomes next Monday. I'm going to quit that bad habit. But the stress hits, and you're back to square one. I'm going to finally go after that dream. But the fear is just so loud. We make these promises with all the intention in the world, and then life happens. And breaking that promise to yourself, it doesn't just mean you didn't do the thing. It does something deeper. It quietly, slowly chips away at the trust you have in the most important person in your life, you. But what if I told you that the blueprint for rebuilding that trust for building an integrity so solid it feels like a superpower comes from a fictional, spiky-haired kid who was written off by his entire village? His name is Naruto Uzumaki, and his simple, stubborn, life-changing rule was this: I'm not gonna go back on my word. That is my ninja way. This isn't about anime. This is about a code, a way to live. And today, we're going to break down how you can use it to become the person you keep promising yourself you'll be. We often think integrity is these giant, heroic moments, but Naruto shows us it's something much simpler and much more personal. Every time you say, I'm going for a walk, and you actually tie your laces and go, you lay down one brick. Every time you say, I won't scroll mindlessly for an hour, and you put the phone down, you lay down another brick. You are, brick by brick, building the foundation of the person you want to be. A foundation of self-trust. But when you break that promise, one more episode won't hurt. I'll save money next month. That's not just skipping a task. You're taking a sledgehammer to your own foundation. You're creating cracks. And after a while, you're afraid to even stand on it, because you don't trust it to hold you. Naruto's power wasn't that he never failed. His power was that he treated his word like it was sacred. Even a simple, almost impossible promise he made to a friend. He promised Sakura he'd bring Sasuke back. Now, spoiler alert, it took him years. He got beaten up, he faced impossible odds, he cried in frustration. But he never, ever took back his word. The promise remained active. His commitment never expired. That's the core of real integrity. So how do we start? We don't start by vowing to bring down a criminal organization before lunch. We start where Naruto started, with a bowl of ramen. Okay, maybe not literally ramen, but with something just as simple. This is a two-part training. Part 1, the genin level, the tiny promises. This is where you rebuild the muscle of trust. You make promises so small, they're almost impossible to fail. I promise I will drink a full glass of water as soon as I wake up. I promise I will make my bed. I promise I will text one friend I haven't spoken to in a while. These seem silly, right? But that's the magic. Every time you do it, you get a tiny, quiet win. You get a flicker of pride. Your brain whispers, hey, we did what we said we would. That feeling? That's a brick being laid. And it feels so good, you'll want to lay another one. Part 2, the Hokage level, the identity promise. This is the big one. This is your ninja way. This isn't a to-do list item. It's who you are. For Naruto, it was never going back on my word. For you, it could be, I am a finisher. I complete what I start. I am courageous. I speak up for what is right. I am a learner. I cultivate my mind every day. This big promise becomes your compass. When you're tempted to skip the gym, you don't just think, I should go. You ask, what would a healthy, disciplined person do? You're not just acting, you're becoming. You're aligning your actions with your identity. Now let's get real. You will fail. You will have a day where you eat the entire cake. You'll skip a week of workouts. You'll snap at someone you love. And that voice in your head will scream, see? I knew it. I'm a fraud. I have no integrity. I should just give up. That voice is a liar. Naruto failed more than anyone. He lost fights. He cried. He doubted himself. But he never, for 1 second, believed his word was broken. The promise was still alive. This is the most critical lesson. Integrity is not a perfect record. It's a stubborn refusal to let your promise die. So you messed up? You dropped a brick and it cracked. The weak thing to do is to walk away from your half-built foundation. The ninja thing to do is to pick up that cracked brick, patch it up with the cement of your renewed commitment, and place it back, stronger than before. Your failure isn't the end of your story. It's just your training montage. And every great hero has an epic training montage. So this is your call to action. This is your moment to define your ninja way. Tonight, before you go to bed, I want you to make one tiny promise to yourself for tomorrow. Something so small it feels easy. Guard it with everything you have. Feel what it's like to keep your word to yourself. And then I want you to ask yourself the big question. What is my ninja way? What is the one core principle I will not go back on? Write it down. Say it to your reflection. Because when you stop going back on your word, a transformation happens. The need for external approval fades. The opinions of others lose their power. You look in the mirror and you see someone you can count on. You see someone reliable, strong, and unshakable.